Hi everybody, it's me Julie, and today I'm going to be working on in this new journal I've been working on for a guest design team spot at Tailor Made Journals, and I have done some awesome printouts of her printable collections, gorgeous wallpapers, and a botanical kit. And I just wanted to put some pockets and stuff and start embellishing it, so I'm going to do a video about it. And you know, one problem I run into sometimes is that when you do printouts and you can't print out on both sides, or you don't print out on both sides, or you forget, one thing I do is I print out on paper that it's already colored or already has a backing on it. I know I did that here on this one, like I used tan paper so it already blends in. And then like on a lot of the embellishments that I cut out already, this page, no, I printed them out on another piece of paper with a pattern. So when you flip them over, they already have a pattern on them because I used the back side of another piece of paper. But when you don't do that, when you just print out on cardstock or plain printer paper, you end up with a lot of blank or all white pieces like this. And of course, the thing we can do is use distress ink or other ink, spray inks, whatever, to color them, or we can glue another piece of paper here. But these blank pages are also opportunities to add embellishments and pockets to cover up a lot of that white space. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do a lace covered pocket, but first I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of distressing on it to help it blend in a little bit better. I've got my piece of paper here that I'm going to start with, so as long as I go about that far. Well, it's a little short, so let's just go all the way to the edges with our blending ink. And then I like to really dirty up my edges with my flicking the ink pad across it. I think it really just adds a nice dark line. And of course it's really hard to get it into the crease, but just do what you can. It'll blend in. It will be fine. All right, so that's all the distress inking we're gonna do on that part right now. And this is gonna be our pocket right here. I did have to trim it up and it did get a little shorter than the actual page, but that's okay because we're just going to use some of our gorgeous pieces we have. These are some older pieces of lace that I have in my stash. A lot of them are from my mom or from things I've bought, but like specifically this was a lace collar that my mom wore in the 80s, I think. Do you remember that, when ladies used to put lace collars on their dresses? This is a piece of lace from my wedding dress when my mom redid her dress for me. That's that one. Here's a piece of tatted something that I don't know where it came from, but isn't it gorgeous? A little teeny tiny lace thing and some other lacy bits and trims, and I even have this old yarn ball, and it's got some gorgeous pieces of neutral fabric that I could take off and put right there, as well as a couple of pieces of cutoffs I got from when I made the spine of this journal. It's this fabric right here, a couple of cutoffs from that. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. I've got some fabric fix from Beacon. And first thing I'm gonna do, I think, is just cover this whole thing with some brownish cotton I have here. This is probably from my mom too. She is a quilter and a lifelong sewer, and so she just always has all kinds of extra bits, pieces, leftovers that she does give to me. She tries to give them to me all at once, and usually I'm like, no, let me pick through. But I have quite a collection of bits and pieces that I get to choose from and bring home to keep safe. So that's mostly what I'm using up today, just bits and pieces of things. I'm just gonna lay this fabric right on there. Now you can sew all these pieces together if you want. I just don't want to. No, I take it back, I want to. It's just, I'm not really good with the sewing machine. I don't feel confident at all. So I don't. And then, or you could hand stitch them if you wanted. But once again, this glue is just so much faster and easier than I can even imagine. So I'm gonna add another little strip right here of this tan cotton fabric, and I am actually going to rip it like right there. Let's see if we can't lay it down nice and neat on our glue. And it gives a little texture and dimension, and that is always pleasing to the eye. So, you can see the fold there was, or the edge was hot, but that's okay. Just work out that white as best we can. So, all right, so then we're just gonna start taking some pieces and layering them down. I think that's really pretty there. I do have more of this one, but this one was a cutoff. That was already like standalone, so that's why I grabbed this. Ooh, look how pretty that is already. I'll probably, well, let's just go with this and see how it turns out. Never really layered lace before, but I so admire when sewers, you know, they do these amazing like, covers and stuff with lace pieces. And I thought, well, I think I can do that with glue. Now I need to remember that I do have a little bit of excess overhang that I can play with. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my pieces like lay off the sides, and then it'll kind of fill in some of that unwanted spot. And I guess I have a little overhang here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that too. Let's pick another piece. I think this would be a good topper for something. Here's some of this lacy collar. But I'm almost wondering if I should just keep going with this piece like that. That's really pretty, isn't it? Maybe like that. Oh yeah, I think we'll just go with this one. Just put some more glue down on it and just kind of brushing the glue, the tip over where the high parts are, just to get a nice little coating on. We'll stick it down, and then we'll do any glue repair later if there's something that didn't glue down enough. Glue repair, I just made that term up. Oh wow, okay, look at that. So that's pretty awesome looking. Looks like one piece. Look how pretty that is right there. Now we need to decide what else we're gonna add to it. So this is a very simple, very quick project. And just use your pieces the best you can to make it pleasing to your eye. Because if it's pleasing to your eye, odds are it's gonna be pleasing to lots of people's eyes. Okay, that's pretty right there. A little bit. But I also have these words from this journal kit, and I think I'm going to go ahead and cut one up to use here. So let's use the word inspire. All right, I'm going to ink her up a little bit. Now I've used, this is a really heavy cardstock that I've printed this on, so it flicks really nicely. Look how pretty that edge is already. Compare that edge to the bottom where I haven't done any inking yet. And all I did was flick it on the ink pad and run it across. Just check your fingers to make sure you're not transferring lines of ink around. Like how pretty that is. So we can do the word this way. Whoops. This way, like sideways. That's pretty. There's something else I was looking for over here. What was it? Oh yeah, my little edger. I was gonna see what that would look like if I was gonna distress the edges of this beauty here. So this is just the tonic paper distresser. It has like little blades up in there and you just run it across the edge and it just kind of distresses everything. Okay, it's a subtle effect, but very pretty. So let's see what happens if I do that, maybe on top. And then what about this tannish fabric here? Now this quilt is super fragile now. I don't know how old it is or who made it or whatever, but they've been in these yarn balls in my mom's house for goodness gracious, a long time. And so then I took them to use them as vintage fabric for different things. But if I try to rip them, like literally they rip up. So I'll just cut it a little bit, kind of make a faux back for this. Maybe it's time to start gluing stuff down because it keeps moving around. What do you think? That's kind of pretty like that. I don't know about this flowery thing. What do you think? That's pretty. I was wondering, what if we put the lace underneath it instead, or the tatting there instead? That is nice, but I think it needs one more layer. Let's see. I have a piece of wood right here I can see. So here's a piece of, like, it's wood, but it's so thin. It's like paper thin. Like I can run it through my how do you call it? Cuttlebug, and cut it with dies. There was some samples I had gotten from a design company that were cleaning out their inventory books. So, all right, so that's interesting and a little big. I think I'll glue it down. I don't know. What do you think about it? Is the color wrong? I don't know. I think I'm gonna love it though, right? I think I'm gonna love it. So we're gonna put some glue on it, like a little word plate. And then we're gonna trim it up a little bit better. Try not to get any splinters. I think this edge is crooked here. And I think what I'm gonna do is also, I'm not gonna use distress ink. I was gonna edge it with, do the flick on it, but I think, I don't know how well it'll soak into the wood. So I've just got my big brush pen here. And we're just gonna edge around it. It just kind of adds a little bit to cover up any whiteness and to darken up those edges. So that's nice. Yes, that's nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna glue this sucker down. And the way that you glue down a tuck pocket is you don't put glue where you want to tuck things in at. So you're just going to run the glue around the edge. You guys know this, but that's just a little reminder. So everywhere you want it to stick down and none here on the actual pocket part. And I just take it all the way up to the edge of the book, or of the page. Make sure it gets glued down, and then also make sure it's not being glued to the page behind it. And this needs a little more glue, I can tell right there. We're gonna do this and this and that. I think I should use something else though, but I don't know what. Is it this? Yeah, that's kind of nice, but is it enough clearance? So what if I came in a little bit, covered up a little bit of that? Is that more interesting? Okay. It's okay to cover it up if it's pleasing to the eye. Now I'm almost like I should have tucked it underneath. You know, always gotta be difficult. I don't think I'm gonna make it though. Let's see if we have another trim. Luckily, I have no shortage of trims. Here's one. Oh, this is pretty. This is really pretty. Yeah, I think that's the winner. What do you think? Even though it's not fringy. Let's see. Do I have another something? Here's the one that's really fluffy. Is that the right word to say for lace? Fluffy. Yeah. No. Okay, just organize it back together. So a lot of these laces I've taken, and my mom gave me my great-grandma's wooden spools from when she sewed, so I have just wrapped my lace around her spools. My grandma, my great-grandma, who's ever, you know, I mean, they're the mix of both of them. So there's some butterflies. All right. I think we're good here. So this eyelet lace is so pretty, but it's just a different kind of lace. So I thought, you know, it's funny how when you're making something and you're like, okay, I'm gonna add all this lace to it, and all this lace is gonna be on there, and it's gonna be awesome, you know, lace, 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 and you get to it and you're like, yeah, one piece is fine, thanks. You know, that's just the way I am. Oh well. That's why you just don't limit yourself. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it's not pleasing to your eye, that's okay. It's okay to change gears in the middle of the whole thing. The whole thing. So that makes me just makes me happy. I bought this from somebody, I just don't know who anymore. I get stuff. Those are both kind of pinky there. And then our word is here somewhere. Where did you go? How did I already lose it? It's a little piece of it. Here it is. Alright, that's so pretty. And then I think like that. What do you think? It's really pretty. Okay, this makes me happy. So when it makes you happy, you just glue it down and enjoy it. So just adding some glue across the line of it here, trying not to get any on the paper at all. And I will go over it to cover up any of those raw edges. And get it as straight as possible. And I'll trim it up here in a minute, maybe. We'll see. Then I'm gonna put a little glue here. And we had our ripped one on top. And we put our other piece next to it here, like that. And then our word on our wood right there. And then this little piece of tatting. We're gonna just put some glue right across the bottom there. It's a lot of glue, Julie. Oh well, okay. Okay, now I also, this little corner up here being so empty is starting to bother me just a teeny tiny bit. So we're gonna go ahead and address it. I have a little bit of music paper here. Let's see if some of that will fit in right there. Just kind of trim some of it up. I don't know, what do you think? And then these little pieces, like this one is a corner piece, that'll fit right in there. Okay, maybe not the music, no paper. I'll just glue it down. And just kind of work it into that corner. All right, here's another little piece of it. I think you can live across the top. I don't save all my scraps that are this tiny, but this fabric just, I thought was really something special. So I kept it. Some glue to keep those guys down, a little bit more glue right there. And this one little piece, where should you go? Does he fit there? He kind of fits right in there. He's telling me to put him there, so I need to rip this one up a little teeny bit. Some more glue on the bottom, glue on the top. And here he goes. Glue there. Oopsies. Oopsies. Come on. Nope, lid. That's what I'm looking for. Lid. All right. What do you think? I think it's pretty fantastic. And so just make sure it's not stuck there. And then you can start building your pieces to slide in there. I've got a couple of big chunks here. I'm not saying this is where they're gonna live forever. I'm just showing you how this pocket will kind of work, and you just can kind of layer things up. So maybe not two things exactly the same. Take these to the top, those to the bottom, and this little tag can come out here with a ribbon. And that's how we make a little lace covered pocket. All right, thanks for watching. I'm gonna keep working in this journal, so just check back with me and I will just kind of keep showing you what I'm doing in it. Thanks, bye.